Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Okay, so we have some build errors here in this change. I wonder what happened here. Oh, this still is... AI pass file. Oof. Oh. This one, yeah. Okay. What is the problem here? Describe object. Where? Describe objects. 746. 7 in generals. Seven four six. Describe object. So this one is unknown somehow. Why? Debug CSC. If def debug CSC. Debug. No. It's only used in CSC logs, no? I don't understand why this is failing here. Debug CSC log. I don't understand. This should have worked. Why is this erroring? Undeclared identifier. Hä? This is not including object.h. It is. It should work. I don't understand why it errors here. It shouldn't. Okay, so it fails in all the debug versions. Yeah. Okay, let's do the following. We take the debug preset. This guy. Yeah. RTS. Actually, let's just do option. Debug. debug generals 0 hour debug, and that's it. Configure. And return this to default. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Okay, then we go to debug and compile. Two failed. Okay. Aha. Okay, so we can reproduce this error. Why is this happening? CSC debug log. Oh. Why is this unknown? I think I know why. Because it needs to include... This needs to include... Oh, it does. CSC debug. CSC debug. Well, hold on. This is object. This is CPP. Let's go to a header. Describe object. I suspect the problem is that the function declaration is not visible in debug CSC. Debug CSC is unknown at that time. Yeah. Well, it's also wrong here. Well, does it need to be in a if def to begin with? Does it need to be in a if def? Maybe not. Maybe we just remove describe objects. It's used in one, two places. How about we take it out of this? I mean, it's not really necessary to guard this, right? So what I can do is we just call it debug, describe object. Then we remove this and that. We say debug, describe object, and then we use it here. There we go. Done. We do the same here. There. 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 And there. Okay. Let's see if that compiles. Does not make any solution files. Does it not? does here. I can retest, I guess. Let me clean this here up. Okay, so that has succeeded. Fantastic. Okay. Create a fix up. Okay. Rebase. Hold on. 771 debug. Okay. Push. Push. Fix the compile. Fix the debug compile error. Okay. So he says there is a problem with this one, yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Release. There we go. Let's see. Configure. Yes. Did you select Visual Studio Generator? Why is that a thing now? Although you appear to have the correct authorization credentials as enabled OAuth app access restriction. Data access to third parties is limited. Is that new? I did not touch that. Perhaps at all. I used CMake plus VCPKG and it generated solution file. Perhaps add OmniBlade. OmniBlade. Add Arctic Dolphin touched something. Otherwise, this would be GitHub's doing. I have a this is old code. Get latest. can update the branch. Updated generals .w3d view branch. Yes. Using standalone VC PKG cloned from Microsoft GitHub repo. I have not tried the VS 2022 built-in version. Okay. But so next change, I would like to port Let me do a fetch. Pull rebase, okay. Okay. So, let me get back to this one. Generals, extras, tools, 0 hour. Okay, so what I would like to do is win merge, open, code, oops, code, generals MD, code, libraries, source, Vegas, and WWMath, yeah. And then we take the same from 0 hour, compare. Okay, so there are a couple files that are different. Okay, so if we copy this over to generals, step by step. Let's do this. There we go. Okay, so here it returns. Why is it doing that? Cardinal spline 3D class. Update tangents. They added an early return here. What does that do? Huh? This looks wrong, doesn't it? This here? Huh? If keys count is smaller than 2, what? What is this bullshit? What is this bullshit? Why is it doing a loop here when the count is smaller? Okay, so if it's 0, if keys count was 0, then it wouldn't enter here. So it's more like the way this is written is retarded. Oh boy. Okay, so I see. So if there's just one element, it will set this to 0 then. Okay. Yeah, this one could have been a condition. If count is 1, if count is 1, then do this. Done. Then you can save on these conditions here. Right? This is retarded here. Okay, and then it returns. And is that set? Yeah, because it's done, basically, yeah. Is sloping. Yeah, I guess this return makes sense. It doesn't need to do all this stuff here when it just sets it to 0, right? Yeah. How about we simplify it right here? We say here, if keys count... hold on, we also need to say... if... This condition needs to stay here. But this condition could be simplified to if keys count equals 1, then do that. Yeah, let's do that. If okay, and then we take this over. There we go. Okay. So we can document this as cardinal spline minor minor optimization in that. Okay, is there anything else in here? No. Okay, then this is fine. What do we have here? Normal. Result normal context.side. Oof. So this is axis aligned box. Yeah. Collision does not currently support contact point computation. Okay, so why is this context side flipped here? Context. Go to exit. Huh? Wow. Goddamn exit. Why did they do that? They could have just used else if, done. Oh boy. Result normal. Context access ID. Context. Collide. This function sweeps two boxes and finds the first time of collision. Box. Move. Box 2. Where's this function used? The collision. Oof. Can we, I think we should put the breakpoint and see where it hits. There. Here. Let's go into 0 hour. Huh? Why are there so many? What? Oh, there are many different types of collisions. Okay. Okay, and the one we are interested in is what? This guy? No. Ugh. Let's search for this. There we go. Let's put a breakpoint in here. And then we do a pragma optimize off. Oh, we're already on debug. Let's go into release though. Configure. That worked for me this time. We are not building 0 hour. Hold on. Configure. Maybe we should also build the tools here. Yeah. Yeah, let's build everything here. I added it as variable, as separate. Okay. I'm looking into the collision, looking into the mass. Looking into the collision. What was it? Save modified files? Huh? We didn't touch it. Or did we? Looking into the difference now. Context. Collision struct. Test the x-axis. Box projection onto the axis. Okay. Good. Then configuration manager. There we go. Then we do debugging. This apply. Okay. Save. Maybe we should run with the shell map. Okay, looks like nothing hits here. Collision mass collide. The question is, in which scenarios will this hit? This breakpoint. It's just mass attack everything here. Those are rushing. Okay, looks like nothing hits here. Can we get any clue as to what would call this? Let's see. Ugh. The problem is that all these functions are have the same name. Like, it could be here. How about we change the name of this function? Let me see. Is there a why is there no let me change collide AA box. Yeah. Let me stop the debugging session. Yeah. Collision mass has no member. Okay. Collision mass. Basically, since all these guys have the same name, it's hard for me to see which one it is. This one, right? Is that right? Or not? Or is it this one here? Ah, it's this one. Hold on. This guy. Right? Okay, let's see what errors we get now. Well, it will error in generals. Hold on. Here. Aha. Error. Okay. Is that all? Okay, let's try this. Build cancel. is still necessary when we're not set. It will not use VC PKG. Okay, so now we have a clearer view on the exact function and where it's used. Okay, so let's go to 0 hour. Yeah, here. Okay, so this one is being called in cast AA box. Yeah, this one. Okay. So that's the only caller. That's the only caller, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Then let's put a breakpoint in here as well. Then let's see who calls this guy. Okay, so H-slot class. Collide against the top LOD. Okay, let's only look at 0 hours here at the top, yeah. Okay, let's see. Cast AA box. Okay, let's put a bookmark here. Bookmark here. 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 And that's it, right? So it's only 5 places. 1, 2, 3, 4. Four functions call this only. Okay, that's not too much. So cast AA box. Okay, but these could be called then here by the callers of these, right? Okay, let's see what this is called by. Maybe we should search for all cast AA box names. Okay, there are quite a few comments. Aha, Cultree. There we go. Mesh geometry class. But then why, what are these for then? Ah, here. Okay, so it's a collision test class, yeah. They all take this argument, right? Yeah. Okay. So the user seems to be only mesh geometry. Mesh geometry is the user, yeah. Cull tree. So it's only used for culling? Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. Let's put markers here. Actually, hold on, we can cast AA box cull tree. Huh? Is this function ever called here? It's never called. Okay, so this is a dead class. Let's search for calls to this guy here. Cast AA box, cast world space. Okay, so this one is of interest here. This one we already checked, it's never called. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like this is the only class left to check. So let's see where this one is called from. Cast AA box model. This guy. Box test. Okay, but we already checked this one, right? Or do we not? I mean, they all have the same names. That's not very helpful. Let's put a breakpoint in here. Cast AA box. And the object class. I'm not. Let me do the following to make sure that this one is the one that has been called. Let's rename it to 2. Yeah. And the object class. Oof. Here. Okay, so it is this one. It's been called here. Yeah. Okay. So is this ever called anywhere then? Let's put a breakpoint in here. And here. Okay, so these are all the places that could reach our code. Okay, let's run this once more. Check registry, perhaps check registry for path, then fix the CMake setup where necessary. Okay, we do have a compiled error. Yeah. Okay, let's run this, see if any breakpoint hits. If none of these breakpoints hits, then it means this is unused, or maybe there's just a very specific scenario where it would hit. All right. No. Let's run through the shell map. Well, if this is never called, then cast a box 2. Yeah, it looks like it's never really I mean, it's hooked up, so the H slot class and the this slot and so on, they could call this, but no one calls these guys, the top level functions. Yeah. So well, hold on. Let me search for a cased AA box. Let's search for users of these specifically. Is anyone calling this guy? No. No callers. No callers. No callers. Did we catch all of them? Let me double check. Yeah, we checked this guy. We checked this guy. I think we checked this guy. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like it's inconsequential, this change, because there's no actual user. Yeah. It looks like no. It looks like there's no code path that actually calls this collision function at a higher level. So this change is inconsequential. Yeah. So I think what this means is we can just copy it over. Why is it prompting me this here? Huh? Oh, that's why. Oops. Let me revert those sneaky changes. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's check the next shit. Okay, what do we have here? Set norm. Set norm. Tree. Collision context. It's just a refactor, collision context. Collision context n. What is n? N is this vector, normal, not normalized. Okay, and before it used tree. Where's tree? Here, tree class. Tree. It also has normal, and it is normalized. It should be identical, essentially. Let me put a breakpoint here and see if they are identical. If it is ever called again. Here. Let's put a breakpoint in here and here. Yeah. Let's stop the debugging. Recompile. We should probably disable optimization. Include, no, pragma optimize off. Man, we changed one file and it has to recompile everything. Actually, it's not sure. We reverted changes in multiple files. Let's see. These breakpoints are not set. Looks like we need to make one more edit so it recompiles this. There we go. Okay, so the question is if this one I would ever hit actually. Oh, Helix is very ambitious here. Okay, looks like nothing is calling that either. Let me search if anyone calling this. No one is calling this. Actually, hold on. Someone is calling it here. Jesus Christ. Collision mass collide. Who knows who's calling this one? Let's put a breakpoint in here. Uh-oh. The new cannon is in danger. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Poor new cannon. Let's try its best. Okay, well, here in our test, nothing hits this stuff. Seems to be not on the critical code pass then. I mean, what we could do is... Okay, so what we can do here... call mass AA box fixes fixes normal direction in collision mass collide for two AA boxes. appears to be inconsequential because never called. Well, it's just this. Actually, no, we have seen that it's never called. Inconsequential because it's never called. Yeah. Okay, and so this one also seems to be never called. Here. So you can say call math AA B3. Refactors normal effects. Refactors source refactors normal. I don't know how to describe it. It pulls the normal from a different field, basically. That's all it does. And the assumption is that the result is the same. Maybe. It depends. What if the triangle normal is not set? But then why would this be set then? I don't know. Why does it contain duplicate normals anyway? If it is duplicate. Refactors, normal. Well, is it really a refactor? Let me see. Hold on. In a collision context, is there maybe... So there is a tree and there's a box. A box. 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 Box move. I'm surprised that these are references. This N, can we find who sets this? Probably will be hard because it's a single character. Makes it hard to find, I guess. Aha. Init. Box move, tree move. Okay, and this N is what? E box tree what? Tree. E. Okay, so there's a relationship here. Tree is using this and N. So it looks like that the N is probably the same as the tree N, right? Probably. Yeah. 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 Much of the code needs the unnormalized triangle normal. For this reason, I have to compute N rather than copying it from the triangle. Commenting this to avoid regenerating a difficult to find bug that I had. Note that much of the code needs the unnormalized triangle normal. For this reason, I have to compute n rather than copying it from that triangle. Aha. Commenting this to avoid regenerating a difficult to find bug that I had. Aha, so apparently there was a bug. Interesting. Okay, let me take this. But if the normal in the triangle is normalized, and what it does here, so if this is unnormalized, here it normalizes it, so it should be identical to this. So this is still a refactor, right? But also here, because this also normalizes here. So in effect, it's probably the same result. Yeah. Okay, so we say refactors origin of normal in intersection and axis n and axis n cases of refactors the origin of the normal in intersection axis n cases of this. It looks like a refactoring. Okay, let me stop this. Let's revert this. Okay, let's copy over this code. Okay. There's one more. Okay. Let me just say, for example, the origin of the collision context, the origin of the collision context normal in function, the origin of the inconsequential because appears to be inconsequential because is not called. See, definitely inconsequential because it's never called. Okay, then I think this is fine. Anything else in here? There's more. Pragma message. Fatal assert. What? For demo. For demo. Okay. Okay. Next. Okay, what do we have here? Oof. Aha. This looks like it's there to avoid a null crash. No. Aha. 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 Yeah. So if this was null 0, if this was 0, then it would be a division by 0 float, which is floating point exception. Yeah. Okay. So we can say call math OBB fixes float division by 0 in this function. Float division by 0. Okay. Okay. Okay, and then we have here another one. Oof. What do we have here? Vector 3, set normal. Result normal. Aha, okay, so it, I see. So before it used the normal inside the struct, but it probably was not necessary because it wouldn't need, what does this contain? Yeah, it contains a bunch of stuff which is not needed because we only need one vector in here for the normal and that's it. Yeah, so this is just a refactor. Yeah. This is just a refactor. Okay, let's save. Good. Let's take a note. Call math OBB3. By the way, actually, let me check if nothing else changed here. None of the numbers. No, the calculations themselves, they look correct. Yeah, they look the same. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's just the data type has been refactored. Yeah. Okay, comma OBB3 refactors data data refactors refactors storage type in this function. Okay. Anything else in here? Oh yeah. What is this? Normal. 3n. Compute contact normal. Context. Okay, so previously I would just take here the triangle normal, and here it will compute the contact normal. Normal. Okay, so the normal. Yeah, okay, so the big difference here. Oh, there's also here a difference. Ah, hold on. Here it called it here. Huh? Hold on. Normal. Okay. Okay, so the big difference is that here it uses the normal to the computed normal to do some checkings, and here it just uses the triangle normal. It's hard for me to judge like what the practical implication is of this. It probably means that this normal here will be different from this one in cases. Yeah. And then this condition is different, and if this check fails, then this computed normal is not put here. Context. Result. What is result? Huh? Results. Cast result struct. Ah, right. So it takes, right. This was also changed. It takes a norm. It takes a vector 3 now. Yeah. I see. Okay, so Okay, so the refactor that we looked at previously in this function here was to accommodate this change, right? Because here it passed the struct here, and here it now just wants the vector 3 normal from this call. Okay. Okay. Result normal. Result normal is this here. Is there another assignment result normal? No, it's just these. So previously this check could have resulted in this triangle n compared to this one, which is the same right here. This can be identical to this guy here if it enters this code path, and then it wouldn't be smaller, but it would be identical, right? Like this would give the same result as this one. But now it's different because now it takes a normal from this function, so maybe it's then always different, and then it's more often smaller or larger, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard for me to judge like what is the practical consequence here. Let me say changes normal value calculation changes normal value calculation in this for OB box entry A box AA box. Yeah, well, maybe this is also never called this function, right? It's this one here, right? Yeah. So if we copy this over, Let's search for this function in 0 hour and put a breakpoint. Let's put a breakpoint here. By the way, I did put the breakpoints in the correct projects, right? Yeah, 0 hour, 0 hour. Yeah. Yeah. Oops. Um, I do wonder, I mean, this one here is probably also called, this one's probably also called by collision code, right? Here. By collide, yeah. So I think all this collision code, it boils down to the same bullshit that it's not being called, right? Yeah. My guess. Actually, hold on, it's different because it's no longer cast OOB box. Well, let's search for this one here. Let's see if this one is called. Why are these things not called though? Cult tree. Mesh geometry class. Okay, how about we put a breakpoint in here? In here. Aha, so here it cannot put a breakpoint because it doesn't exist, maybe. Okay, how many cast functions are there? Cast array, AA box, OB box. Intersect. I don't know. Can we see if this is... Can we see if this is ever called anywhere? Here. Mesh class. What? Aha. Okay, we do get a call in here. Okay, that's great. Cast array. We have no cull tree. Okay. Compute plane. Okay. Collide. Okay, so we do call in some collide class, line sec class. Okay, but this is not one of these that is of interest for us. Yeah. So I don't know if this raycast is of interest. Maybe not. Brute force, what is it calling? It is calling, yeah, just this one. Okay, this seems to be not of interest, at least not right now. What if we collide here with something? Nothing. Maybe these are just, most of these just legacy use cases that are no longer used in this game, right? What if we have some debris colliding? Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be that the cast OB box is also uncalled. Maybe. Yeah. So the cast array is called. What was the call stack for it? Let me see. Call stack. Cast array. Cast array. Yeah. Pick drawable. Okay. It's for picking like some objects with our mouse cursor, I guess. That's what the raycast is used for. It's interesting that this one is compiled out, which to me indicates that this is compiled out. The optimizer has figured that this one is never called anywhere, so it has compiled this out. But here we do have a breakpoint, which means that there is something that calls into this eventually. Let's look at this one more time. Something outside of WW3D2 maybe. Aha, there's some committed stuff here. No. No. The cast array. Can we see where this is? Like, do we see it being called from engine somewhere? Yeah. So we see it. This one is used from engine, the cast array. Yeah, several times. Yeah. So it looks like the cast AA box and cast OB box, they are never really used, right? Yeah. Yeah. Unless it's called from some other function here, like this guy. Let's see. No. Mesh class. No. No, I don't see anything that would call this function. So maybe we just also say here, definitely inconsequential because it's never called. Definitely inconsequential because it's never called. Yeah. Okay, good. Is there anything else different in this file? No. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now the files are identical. Okay, cool. And the cardinal spline, I would say we actually revert this change because if we make unification, it shouldn't be part of that, right? Yeah, let me revert this guy. Maybe fix it another time. Let me look at the code once more. Yeah. Okay, so So to me, it looks like that all the changes here are inconsequential. Yeah. Okay, cool. How about let me unify WWMath? I think so. Rename. Okay, so cardinal spline. Do we want to make separate changes for these? So this one is separate from the others. Yeah. I think they can all be separate. Yeah. It looks like all A box and OB, what's it called? OB box? Yeah. OB box, collision tests, collision functions are never called. Okay, so this does gen unify code in with 0 hour, unify code in update tangents. Maybe we call it backport optimization in this from 0 hour. Okay, then here this one gen backport normal direction fix in, what is it? Normal direction in mask light for AA box collision. Backport normal direction fix in collide for AA box collision. from 0 hour. Okay. Here it did A-B-tree. It was refactors. Yeah. Gen, backport, refactor, refactoring, say backport, normal, origin, refactoring in backport, normal, origin, refactor from 0 hour. So collision context, normal origin refactor in this from 0 hour. Okay. Next. This one fixed the vision by 0. Yeah. Gen fix float division by 0 in backports. Fix for float division by 0 in this from 0 hour. Backport fix for float division by 0 in this function from 0 hour. There we go. And next one is this guy, and this one is changes normal value calculation. Gen backports changes to normal value calculation in collision marks. It's for OB box tree collision from 0 hour. Backport changes to normal value calculation in collision marks collide for OB box tree collision from 0 hour. Okay. Let's push that. Okay. Okay, reviewers, Thompson's, so this is unify generals, yeah. This change unifies WWMath codes remaining. Hold on, let me open here WWMath closed. Say follow up for for this guy, and also yeah, follow up for that. This change unifies the remaining WWMath codes. Generals inherits the following changes. Merge with rebase. Generals inherits the following changes. Cardinal spline, minor optimization in this is optimizes code. Fixes normal direction in collision mask, collide for a box collision. Let me add a note here. I do believe as far as I could tell, the collision mass changes in this and this are never called. As far as I could tell, the collision mass changes in never called in 0 hour. Well, I should have checked actually if it's called in generals, but I assume it's the same in so maybe you should have checked generals. So but it is probably the same. So these math changes are probably inconsequential. If there were actual collisions using this code, the actually game logic relevant collisions using this code, it could occur behavior changes. All math changes, the math changes are split into separate commits to make testing of older changes easier if we ever wanted to revisit a particular change. Okay, so regarding collision context, there's a relevant comment nearby. There appears to be a relevant comment nearby. Okay. Okay. Okay, optimizes code in that, yeah, fixes normal direction for any collision, refactors the origin of the collision context normal in that, fixes float division by 0, refactors storage type, and that changes normal value calculation in collision for OP3 collision. Okay, there we go. That's as detailed as a breakdown I could do for this port of changes. Okay, so this is gen backports collision test related changes from 0 hour related changes and fixes in WWMath. It's WWMath, right? Oh, it's not WWMath. Is it? Hold on. It is WWMath. Yeah, backport collision test related changes and fixes in WWMath from 0 hour. Yeah. The remaining code of backport collision test related changes and fixes. There we go. Okay, I'll make one more change here. Revert. There we go. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Good. We did not touch word builder. I will check soon after break. Okay. Then what's the time? Yeah, 2 hours, 40 minutes. Okay, good. Then next session, we will continue with reviews, try to merge some stuff. Yeah. And yeah, I think this is good that now we know that WWMath merging is probably fine. We will see. Yeah. Okay. V6 compile time. Someone can figure out how to buff compile time for local VS6, that would be great. Okay, cool. Then, yeah, we got a little bit of stuff done. That's great. Good. Then I will take a break here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time, goodbye.